Hey guys, we are live already, and guess who's here with me? Coach David Lawal. Wow, Coach, it's a pleasure to have you here on this live broadcast. First of all, I want to say big thanks to every one of you who have been following our sessions starting from yesterday. Yesterday, we had an amazing session with Destiny Mawili, and we were supposed to have another session in the evening, but due to some factors, due to some reasons, we couldn't make that session happen, and then we shifted it to today. We're going to have it after immediately after this session. All right. The session with Lobet Omotala couldn't come through because of network challenges, and so we only want to apologize to every one of you who had been waiting and had been live with us at the previous broadcast. I want to assure you this time is going to be a seamless live broadcast. I mean, David is here, is ready to dish out great value. And we tagged it for each session. We tagged the topic as the professional public speaker, right? But he said no, and he said is rather the public speaking professional, and that's so more about what the public speaking professional is. And so welcome, Coach David. Welcome to our live broadcast. Thank you so
Thank
much
you
for.
so much. You're my brother. My younger brother's name is Daniel, so you're my
Oh
brother.
wow,
I'm
amazing!
happy to be
Wow.
here.
Wow. That's so good. That's so good. And one of the things that got me attracted to Coach David is that the first that I heard him speak, oh boy, it was in a WhatsApp group, in fact. Alexander Wisdom, yeah, Alexander Wisdom event on WhatsApp. He invited me, of course. I was in this platform. I am in this platform actually. And so you were invited to come, facilitate a session. It was amazing. I mean, amazing. I just kept loving the guy. I mean, the voice. I couldn't. I
Thank
said
you
I need
so
to. I need
much.
to connect with you,
Thank
and
you
that
for
was
the
why I
compliment.
sent you. Yeah, that's why I sent you the request. It's so amazing. Thank you. It's as though you were not, or you never lived in Nigeria. It's not like the ones that we are speaking, right?
No, you're amazing yourself. And the interesting thing is, I've never really traveled outside the country, so.
You can see the British accent everywhere, and it's
Oh,
going to tell
that's
you it's
not
going to tell you how to
British.
do something like this.
That's
It's not.
David.
Oh, that's David that said not British, but it sounds so much like British, man.
Okay,
So
thank
of
you,
course
brother.
you can hear him speak, and the truth is, if you want to become a public speaking professional like he is, you've got to listen with rapt attention to all that he has to say. So, David, I would like you to tell us about yourself. And I'm so sorry I couldn't get across the video for the introduction that I was trying to prepare for you for this session. So sorry about that. It wasn't intentional, but it was due to my time schedule and everything. So I'd like you to tell us about you. Okay, so let us just know, let us come into your word. All right.
Yeah, I'm David Lawal, as the screen already displays, and my middle name is Oluwatosin. That means I'm Yoruba. I'm from Ogun State, so I think
Okay.
it's good for people to know that. And David is Hebrew, meaning the beloved, and Lawal is Arabic, meaning the first. So I always tell
Oh
people, you
wow.
know what, you've got to love me, and I'm always the first. You get the point. So it's always a beautiful thing when I get to connect with people because I get to love them and they get to love me. I've enjoyed a lot of love in this world that is filled with
Awesome.
hatred. Okay, and I tell people, see, you cannot adequately describe me as a public speaker, as a leader, even though I'm those things. But primarily, I'm a thinker. So I'm a thinker who
Mm.
speaks and writes and leads because, what is speaking if it's not the expression of thoughts in verbal
Yeah.
tones? What is
Yeah.
writing if it's not the expression of thoughts in well arranged written words? And then what is leadership if it's not the expression of your thoughts in a well thought about plan, and then talking to people to drive that plan forward to achieve a goal. So I'm a thinker, first of all, and that's what I want to help anybody that comes to train with me to achieve, to make them thinking speakers and writers and leaders. Because you know what, as a man thinketh, so he is. So if you can
Mm.
improve
Mhm.
your thought life, then you can improve your life entirely.
Wow, absolutely. Wow, that's massive. And you finished from which school? You have your degree in what school?
Okay, Federal University of Technology, Accra. Interestingly, I studied biochemistry, but I lost
Wow.
interest for biochemistry, not because I lost interest for biochemistry ultimately, but I had a greater interest. I was not satisfied with just interacting with the blood samples and the other samples in the human body. I wanted to get to talk with human beings and feel the pain that they feel and help them achieve things that they want to achieve, and touch their dreams and touch their pain and touch their disappointments, and really help them. So for me, I had a greater driving passion than biochemistry.
So I would say it this way. It means that you were more particular about touching their their intellectuals. I mean, their soulish firm rather than just their body. The whole you do in biochemistry, right? That's so
Exactly.
powerful. That's so
Exactly.
powerful.
And biochemistry was not interesting to me because the best I could do was to maybe manufacture drugs for people who are having
Yeah,
some chemical imbalances in their body.
yeah,
And
yeah,
again, I could interact with their samples and test for some pathological, some pathogens in their system. But I was not going to interact with them. I was not a medical doctor who would actually talk with the patients and get to
yeah,
diagnose whatever they were
yeah,
going through. I wanted to get
yeah.
to talk with people. Like I wanted to interact with people in flesh and blood rather than just a labeled a medical laboratory bottle.
That's superb. And that's really an encouragement to so many others who are here. I mean, we have a lot of young people on this platform who are going through certain courses and certain, so it doesn't matter what you studied in school, right? So
Doesn't matter.
because it doesn't matter. That's amazing. Okay, so I'll leave you to take the whole stage, and you let me know at certain times when you want us to play some videos that we have for everyone watching here. And of course, we're going to be having a very, very interactive talk session, just me and you, and everyone's going to be listening. I'm going to be asking some questions about the public speaking professional. All right, so take it up, Coach David.
Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel Odiwe. Did I get it correctly? Or you could
It doesn't
help me?
matter. It doesn't matter. It's just
Help me,
fine.
please.
No,
All
it's
right,
fine.
good. And I
It's
want to
Odiwe.
welcome
It's actually
everybody.
Odiwe.
Odiwe. Okay, it's a matter of stress pattern over there. So I want to welcome all of you to the Impact Conference. I mean, it's been such a beautiful session that's it's been a beautiful conference. I witnessed a bit of Destiny session, and that was interesting because it helped us to get perspective on living a life of purpose, and that was a beautiful one. So today I want to talk to you all, yeah, on becoming a public speaking professional. Now, maybe I should take the word public out of that title so that you could get a bit of perspective on what I want to talk to you about. Becoming a speaking professional. My emphasis really is on professional. I'm not trying to buy you to become a public speaker. Rather, I'm trying to tell you that if you are in the banking sector, if you're into finance, if you're into biochemistry, if you're into microbiology, if you're into philosophy, if you're into fashion, whatever you're into, if you're into programming, have the application development and other things like that, you don't need to leave those professions to become an amazing public speaker. In fact, what I want to tell you today is that you need to develop yourself in such a way that you would use the skill of powerful communication to drive yourself forward in your field. So I would really want to interact with you guys in the chat section. So I want to get to know you. Just tell me your name. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what your profession is. Tell me exactly the kind of profession that you're currently improving yourself to become an authority in. And I would really like to make some friends today. After the conference, I like to connect with people. So let us get started. Warren Buffett, as you all know, is one of the greatest people in the entire world. It's one of the greatest people when it comes to uh, to to real estate. Exactly, that's the word. So and he's one of the richest men in the world. He's no longer the richest man, but he's one of the richest men in the world. And Warren Buffett was asked, what did you do in your 20s that actually gave you this massive advantage for great success? And Warren Buffett said that when he was in his 20s, he actually took a Dale Carnegie public speaking training, and he got a certificate for it. And he called that the greatest driver for his success. Because Warren Buffett understood that for him, as he looked back on his life, that the reason he's been able to achieve so much was because he had the ability to communicate the thoughts in his mind to a lot of people. He was engaged in several deals with a lot of people. He was engaged in negotiation with a lot of people. He was engaged in selling things in sales, basically, with a lot of people. He was engaged in a lot of business transactions with a lot of people. He had to negotiate a lot of things with a lot of people. And when he looked back on his life and he was to pinpoint that very determinant of his success, he mentioned public speaking. And I can tell you for free, as one who has been on the decision council of a lot of boards and maybe wanted to choose a leader to lead a particular organization or a particular group, we considered that it was not just the proficiency of the person to do the job, but the proficiency of the person to communicate to the people who would be members of his team and the members of the public. So we looked at the person's speaking capacity, the person's speaking skills, and we made our final decision not only by an acute understanding of the processes that are involved in achieving the goals of the organization, but also the efficiency of the person in communicating the thoughts of their hearts to the members of their team and to the people in the public. So you see, friends, it is very important for you to master public speaking skills. So what I mean here is this. You need to become a speaking professional. And by that, I mean that if you are a developer, you want to become a public speaking developer, just as my friend Desmond Odiwe put on a status today. And he had no idea that I was actually going to be speaking at this conference. Desmond Odiwe is an amazing leader. He worked with us at the Friendship Leadership Institute as the director of awards and celebrations. And when he was a director of awards and celebrations, he did a 4-part series on leadership. And it was an amazing teaching series. I learned a lot from that teaching series. Desmond has been such a phenomenal leader, an amazing communicator. But you know what? Is an app developer. He works as an IT expert, and he still works as that up till this day. He has authored a book. The title of the book is No Idea, a phenomenal book that you should watch out for. And if you get into my circle, definitely very soon, we're going to be giving that book to you for free. He just told me yesterday about his plans to get the book out for free. This is a man of huge substance. Why am I telling you so much about Desmond? Desmond today told me about how public helped him to advance in his career. He would get training opportunities to train people who were newly getting into the realm of app development, and it would be considered as an expert in that field of app development. He is highly respected in that field because he has not Oh, sorry, that was the network. I'm glad we are back right now. So Desmond doesn't just have acute knowledge of application development, he also has the capacity to teach it to other people. And he told me that whenever the people in his classes and in his trainings would take those trainings and those classes, they will come back to him and they would tell him that he delivered so intelligently. It was an intelligent delivery. He told me that just as I was having a conversation with him today, he told me that intelligence shines through when you have that capacity to deliver the message of your heart to people in a professional context. In fact, he is highly respected in the realm of application development. He's a very passionate leader, he's an amazing leader, and is a speaking professional. So whatever your profession is, whether you're in the banking sector or you're a lecturer or you are into entrepreneurship, maybe fashion or teaching, whatever it is that you do, whether you're a marketer, a manager, whatever it is that you do, public speaking will drive you forward because it's going to make a huge difference in your life. As I've studied great people, I figured that not too many things really, not too many things make the difference at the top. Yeah, your talent and competencies can actually get you to the top, but when you get to the top, there is a differentiation, there is a strata of authorities in at the top, really. And when it comes to becoming the top of the top, the topmost of the top, then talent and skills and competencies do not make the ultimate difference. What makes the ultimate difference are actually three things, and that's why I want to go right now to share with you three difference makers of the greatest in every field of human endeavor. Let me give those three things to you. In a list. First of all, first is prolific writing and speaking. Prolific writing and speaking. The second is purposeful event hosting. Purposeful event hosting. And then the third is passionate people development. Passionate people development. That's prolific writing and speaking, purposeful events hosting, and then passionate people development. So let's talk first of all about purposeful writing and speaking, which is actually the focus of our engagement today. So let's talk about prolific writing and speaking. This reveals your intelligence. If you are prolific with writing, either by authoring a book or by authoring books or by writing a blog consistently or by posting on your social media pages consistently about your profession, not just consistently, but consistently about your profession. So let's use someone in the banking sector, for example, or let me go into law. I have a lawyer at Friendship Leadership Institute who consistently posts about the law practice, and if I have any issues that would involve litigation, she is the first person I'm going to reach out to because I'm consistently seeing this person's post. Or in a world where speaking is so much rated right now, I think speaking is more highly rated than writing. There's a whole lot that is talked about copywriting these days, and copywriting is an amazing thing. But as a leader, if you're going to master anything, if you're going to choose between copywriting and public speaking, I would advise you to go for public speaking, to develop your skill in public speaking, because ultimately, if you're a very good public speaker, then there is a sense in which you would definitely really be a very good copywriter, because the skills that are involved in delivering a good speech, a persuasive speech that will move the hearts of people, would also be involved in being a very good copywriter. One other reason for you to master the skills of public speaking above the skills of copywriting or the skills of writing at all is that anyone can write for you. Do you know that the world famous leadership expert John Maxwell has a writer called Charlie Wetzel? Now, Maxwell doesn't write from start to finish his books. It starts by writing a sketchy draft of his entire book, and Charlie Wetzel takes that sketchy draft and fleshes it out into the full book that John Maxwell publishes as his book. So anyone can write for you. Anyone can write for you. Anyone can even write copies for your organization, but no one can speak for you. No one can speak for you. No one can speak for you. You have to speak for yourself. People can People can ghostwrite for you, but no one can ghost speak for you. So it's very important that you master the skills of public speaking if you're going to develop yourself as a leader. So the first thing I have mentioned as a difference maker of the greatest in every field of human endeavor is prolific writing and speaking. The reason is that if you master these skills, they will help you to reveal your intelligence to people around you, and it will help you display your leadership capacity. Because you know what? Nobody would ever dismiss friendship with somebody who is an author simply because they're an author. In fact, okay, yeah, I'm seeing the comment on the screen. So, and I'm joining my voice with the host of this conference. If you are seeing this live broadcast, kindly let us know your name and where you are watching from. You also can tag your friends here to be a part of the session. Yeah, thank you so much, Mr. Daniel, for that. So, what I'm saying is this. For you to really review your intelligence and your leadership, you need to master the art of writing and then the art of public speaking. But remember, if you are to pick any of these two, pick speaking over writing if you're really interested in becoming a very influential leader. Because you see, anyone can write for you. Anyone can write for you, but no one can speak for you. Anyone can ghost write for you, but no one can ghost speak for you. If anyone ghost speaks for you, then you aren't really speaking. It was that person who really spoke. But if anyone ghost writes for you, doesn't really matter. It's still your book. Your name is still on it. You got a point. So now, why is it important for you to take this very seriously? The reason is this. Nobody will ever dismiss you because you are a prolific writer, a prolific speaker. In fact, people want to become your friend because they consider you to be highly intelligent. If you've authored something or you speak a lot on a particular subject, they will consider that you have a lot of knowledge about it. Because if you don't have knowledge in the first place, you would not be writing about it and you would not be speaking about it. So that's when it comes to the greatest of the greats, you will notice that they are prolific writers and speakers. The second thing that we see as the difference maker for the greatest in every field of human endeavor is that they purposefully host events. They do purposeful event hosting. And I will not belabor this point, but that just means that if you do purposeful event hosting, that confers on you authority. So whatever you do, I want to encourage you, I want to counsel you, make sure that you host events about it. Think about it. Mr. Daniel is hosting this conference. And I trust that any of you who has come to learn about this conference would accrue some level of authority to Mr. Daniel because he's hosting this particular conference. Look at the caliber of speakers he's bringing, and you begin to rate him and rank him amongst those people. You begin to respect him based on the capacity of the speakers that is bringing on board. So when you host an event, make sure you go for speakers that are well ahead of you in the league of whatever you're doing. So for example, let's go back to the law practice or the banking practice. So if I'm a lawyer or a banker, I will host events annually for bankers and for lawyers and for aspiring bankers and for aspiring lawyers. And I would bring well-accomplished people to that conference every single year. Now, that will increase my influence and that will increase my authority. People will begin to see me as more authoritative in my field than I really am. After every conference, my authority in my field is going to increase in a greater dimension. If you don't know how to do it, that's what we train you to do at the Masterful Speakers Masterclass. So maybe that will be the next thing for you to do after this conference. If you don't know how to host events, if you think it's such a huge thing, if you think, oh, I don't have money, I don't have the experience, I don't have the connection. How do I get to do it? Definitely, if you take our Masterful Speakers Masterclass, we'll show you everything regarding that. So the third thing that I want you to do is that you become passionate about people development. Think about the greatest of the greats, the difference maker that you see in their life. Thirdly, is that they are passionate about people development. For this reason, they provide platforms like this platform where we are, the Charis Impact circle or platform, and we're having the Charis Impact Conference. Now they provide platforms. They are passionate about people development, not just the conference, not just the event, but there is always an institute, there is always a gathering, there is always a seminar, a training that they give to people to do the things that they are trying to even improve at. Okay, to do the things that they are trying to improve at. They train other people to improve at those things. So I think since we are believers here, think about the greatest ministers in Nigeria. If you can engage the comment section, you can mention some of the greatest ministers in Nigeria. You will notice that they have training institutions for people who are interested in doing the things that they do. Let me just mention some of the great of the world. We can mention the Chris Oyakhilomers of the world. We can mention the Oyedepos of the world. We can sorry about that. That was the network. All of those people have training institutions where they train. All of those things we have just mentioned as the difference maker, as the difference makers for the group. All right, you're welcome back. Sorry about the poor internet connection. Never saw that coming. But all of these things we have just mentioned as the things that make for the greatest of the greats, right? You will notice that they all involve your ability to communicate as powerfully and as persuasively as you can. We call it masterful public speaking in the Masterful Speakers Masterclass. So how do you develop all of these things? I would give you 4 keys. I would give you 4 keys of mastery, and then that will be the end of this session today. Number 1, intention. Number 2, attention. Number 3, repetition. And number 4, replication. Number 1 is intention. Number 2 is attention. Number 3 is repetition. And number 4 is replication, right? So let us jump into that. I'm not going to go fully into details, but I'm just going to scratch the surface right now. Okay, we have Mandy from Canada. Thank you, Mandy. Happy to have you here. So intention, like you've looked at all of these things I've told you about for you to become prolific at writing and speaking and purposeful at hosting events, and then to become passionate at people development. You want to do all of these things, but how do you begin? What do you do to achieve all of these things? The first thing is for you to be intentional, for you to say, I really want to become a speaking professional. I want to become a speaking professional. Or as we say it in the Masterful Speakers Masterclass, you say, I want to become a masterful speaker. You see, every great thing in this world started with a great intention. You have to be greatly intentional and enthusiastically intentional about whatever you want to achieve. So you have to be really resolute and determined that you want to become a speaking professional. So wherever you are, whatever profession you're trying to rise in, You need to become a speaking professional for you to skyrocket your advancement in that particular profession. Number two, attention. Pay attention to the people who are rising and are skyrocketing to the top in your career through the mastery of powerful communication skills, and see the things that they do. Because you know what? When you do what the masters do, you too will become a master. I have always believed that great people do not do great things because they are great, but great people are great because they do great things. Let me say that again. Great people do not do great things because they are great, but great people do great things. And great people are great because they do great things. Great people do not do great things because they are great. Great people are great because they do great things. In other words, you don't have to become great for you to become a speaking professional. You don't have to become an authority in your profession for you to become a speaking professional. No. You have to become a speaking professional in order for you to become an authority in your field. That's the idea. Do you get the point? So pay attention to what the great people are doing, because when you do what great people do, you too will become great. It's the doing that makes the greatness. It's not the greatness that really makes the doing. Do you get the point? All right. So intention, attention, the thought is repetition. And I think I've already touched on this point of repetition in number two when I was talking about attention, paying attention to the masters, and learning what they do in principle and applying those things that they do in principle to your own peculiar situation. Now, repetition is you bringing it to your own peculiar situation with the mindset that when you do what the great people do, when you do what the masters do, you too become a master. Okay? And it's true, you may not know what the masters do, and that's why coaches like us and trainings like the Masterful Speakers Masterclass exist. You may not know what the masters do, but we will really help you to learn what the masters do. Time-tested principles that will help you learn what the masters do so that you too can repeat the process. And interestingly, in the Masterful Speakers Masterclass, we don't just leave you to go do trial and error. We stay with you. We coach you through the entire process. We hold you by your hand. So no matter how fast or slow you learn, we help you to repeat the mastery secrets that you learn from the masters, as we have studied the masters for a very long time. And then finally, replication. And I shouldn't give this to you, but because this conference is highly valuable, because this is one of the secrets that we give out in the Masterful Speakers Masterclass, but I'm going to give it to you. Here is it. And I've said it. I've said something similar to it, but I'm going to tell you this one is totally going to change your mind. Replication, right? You know, when you are a replica of something, you become a smaller version of that thing or another version of that thing. You know, see, as soon as you begin to advance in your career as a speaking professional, find somebody who is not yet making as much advancement in that same career and see how that you can help them to begin to make some advancement. Take them under your wings, mentor them, coach them, train them. You get a point? The idea is this. When you help other people become masters, when you help other people become speaking professionals, you cannot escape becoming a speaking professional. In fact, when you help other people become masters, you cannot escape becoming a master. So immediately after this conference, yeah, exactly. Exactly. Immediately after this conference, I want to tell you something to do. Immediately after this conference, before even becoming a speaking professional, I want you to go get somebody in your field. That person has to be in your field, not just anybody out there, not just someone who comes to you and says, mentor me. No, that person has to be in your field who doesn't have as much experience as you do, and help them. Take special interest in that person and begin to help the person to become a speaking professional even while you are learning to become a speaking professional. Ibu Bay, so happy to see you. So here is it. Let me tell you a story just to round up. And I always tell the story. If you've ever attended any of my training sessions, you'll hear me tell the story because really it's the secret to what I do. Victoria, I can see you all the way from Oyo. I'm speaking from Oyo as well. I'm speaking from Ibadan, Oyo State. So, Victoria, it will be good to connect with you after this. So, let me tell you the story. In November of 2014, I went visiting my grandparents who had both passed away, but then they were still alive in November of 2014. So, I went visiting them in Mina, Niger State. And it was November, remember. It was November. And so the Harmattan breeze had started to blow, as you know. So as I got to Mina, I figured that in the living room of the house where my grandparents were staying, there was this center table. And that center table was a elevated center table, and it was a plastic center table. And when I looked at this plastic center table that was presumably white, actually white, it has started to turn brown. So one Saturday, long story short, and I need to mention this before I go ahead in the story. Once before that Saturday, I figured that on that table was a basket, and in that basket was a brush. You know, this kind of brush that you use in scrubbing your jeans, that you hold, it has a handle. You know, that kind of brush, right? I don't know the technical name for the brush. If you know the technical name for the brush, you can drop it in the comment section, and I'll be so glad to learn that from you. You see, even speakers learn from their audiences, and it's a beautiful experience when we do that. So, and I'm going to even tell you something I once learned from my audience when I was speaking to them, and I was telling them the story. So that day, I figured that in that basket was this brush, and the bristles, yeah, that's the word, the bristles, you know, that hairy part, you know, of brushes, you know, toothbrush, that stuff that you use in cleaning your teeth, that part that you use in cleaning your teeth, that's called the bristles of the brush. B-R-I-S-T-L-E-S, the bristles of the brush. Okay, so one Saturday, I took out this table, took out the brush, applied water to the surface of the table, applied detergent, took the brush, started to scrub the table. Now, after the exercise, I figured that the table was clean, but I looked at the bristles of the brush, and I figured that the bristles of the brush, not blush, or the bristles of the brush had also turned white. So clean white table, clean bristles of the brush. So when I was reflecting on that particular experience, I was thinking, why did the brush scrub the table? Did the brush scrub the table so that its bristles could get white? No. The brush scrubbed the table so that the table could get white. But in the process of the brush scrubbing the table, the bristles of the brush could not escape getting white. So that's why I often say, when you help other people become masters, you cannot escape becoming a master. Let me tell you this, the secret to my effectiveness in public speaking, to my radical growth in public speaking, was because immediately as I started gaining interest in public speaking, I started training other people in public speaking. So whatever you are doing, whatever profession you are into, you get a point. What you need to do is to get somebody who is not as experienced as you are and pour your knowledge into them. That way, you'll become a speaking professional. You'll be more than a professional public speaker. It's been a beautiful experience to be at the Consummate Man Conference, at the Charis Impact Conference. And thank you so much, all of you, for your amazing audience. I remain happy to be your friend and hoping very soon to be your coach, David Lawal, the Masterful Speakers Coach. If you don't have a question, let me know. Mr. Daniel, are you here? I'm done speaking.
Awesome, amazing. Okay, so I'm not going to let you go yet. Just a minute. I'm going to bring you back on this live broadcast. It's been so amazing. Just give me a minute. What's happening? Okay. I'm trying to, okay, I've got it.
Yeah. And let me just quickly say this. I will go out and come back. That was because somebody called me while I was I was speaking, so I cannot really hear what you're saying. So let me go out and come back in. Is that okay, friends?
Yeah, it's fine. Perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you. We'll be expecting you back soon because we have some questions for you. All right, guys, you've heard from the coach himself. I mean, from Coach David Lawal, and it's so amazing the thoughts he shared with us about, the public speaking professional. I need you to pay attention to every of those things he said. I hope you wrote down, some of the points. I hope you wrote them down. One of the things he said, okay, he's back right now. So let me quickly have him back. Um, okay. Welcome back, David Lawal. Welcome back. I actually have a question for you, and because you made a very, very vital point at the beginning of your speaking, of your session. We're talking about, if I remember, about the fact that we've got to do intentional hosting, right? Something like that. Okay, good. So I think that's really, really important because that's one of the things that helped me. Okay, apart from, of course,
Awesome.
yeah, apart from, of course, just probably I didn't just all of a sudden start knowing how to speak. I mean, in public. Of course, I'm a very, very introvert type. Many people don't really know that. Yeah, that's the truth. But when I said to go live, I mean to come live on Facebook and other social media platforms, there's a confidence it gave to me. That I could actually face anyone, irrespective of who you are, and talk to you boldly. So, what would you say is the number one thing for such a person who intends probably, coming on life? I know you talked about intentionality, yes, but what do you think? What do you think about confidence playing a major role, in them being live on probably on wherever it is? Just speak it. I don't know if you got my
Yeah,
question.
I got your question very well, and just by your testimony, I will have to say that I think introverts make very good speakers because I'm introverted myself. The reason is for you to become a very good speaker to connect with people. What you're doing for people is that you are helping them think. If you can't help people think, then there is
Yeah.
no reason for you to be a speaker or a writer or anything. People don't think for themselves, and it's the reason
Mm,
they have a lot of problems and they cannot make any headway. But if you get into that corner of your world where you are doing a lot of thinking and you've got this gold that you've got to share with the world, you get a point. You know that people have those problems and you're thinking about the problems that people have and you figured out a solution, you are just super excited, you want to share that solution with them. Now, when I train speakers, I tell them that the proper way to kill your fear of public speaking is not to target killing your fear of public speaking. The wrong approach is to want to become confident until you get out there to begin speaking, because
okay.
confidence is built when you are doing it
Yeah.
over and again. And if
Over
you
again.
wait until you are confident, you will never speak a single day in your life. Demosthenes was a 4th century Greek orator, and he was asked, Demosthenes, what is the secret of your effectiveness as an orator? And Demosthenes said, delivery, delivery, delivery. So it's that
Mhm.
delivery over and again. And Demosthenes was
Yeah.
one who had a speech impediment when he was younger. In fact, he had to train by putting pebbles in his mouth and speaking over the crashing of the waves. And this was a man who became one of the greatest orators in history. And even when
Yeah.
we study rhetoric, you cannot get past Cicero and Demosthenes. So I think
Profound.
delivery is very important. And stop saying that you have to get confident before you get
Mhm.
out there and start speaking.
I love that. I love that totally. For me, and it's also a question too. For me, what I did while I was growing up, while I was very young, was that I loved soliloquizing. Just talking to myself alone. I was telling someone some time ago. I was having a chat with someone, and while I was growing up, I would be going to school, my elder ones, and while everyone's at the front, heading to school, I'm at the back delaying them. And what am I doing at the back? I am soliloquizing. I'm just talking to myself, acting those things I've seen on movies, and demonstrating and all those things. Of course, it looks crazy because those were the things they were trying to stop us from doing while we were growing up. But I actually thought those things helped me because it helped me to always want to talk. Do you understand? It helped me to always want to express my inner feelings. It helped me to always want to express my thoughts. And so what do you think about a young person who is probably found as a soliloquizer, who's always found soliloquizing? Do you think what do you think about that? What do you say? What would you say? Yeah.
I like that. Interestingly, I'm in a situation where my cousin, who is 8 years old, 9 years old, actually lives with us. I'm answering
Okay.
your question. She lives with us, and she sees that I do this kind of work. Like sometimes she will come, and today she was even telling me when I was trying to prepare, and she was trying to
Yeah.
get my attention. I'm like, you know what? I'm trying to prepare. The reason I can't do what you want me to do right now is because I have a conference. I'm going to be speaking out very soon. And she said, is it not just
Yeah.
to speak? I'm like, okay, is it not just to speak? Like, you think speaking is easy? Okay, so let me get back to her. Now,
Yeah.
when she just came, she used to wonder, like, okay, your job is just to sit by your computer every single day and
And speak.
like face your camera and talk to people, like you're not working. And then she got surprised later on when I was making a lot of money from all of those things, and whatever she
Yeah.
needed to get, I was always getting it for her. And I'm like, okay, I'm not working, but you can see. But so she took interest, and she would take my smaller phone, and she would go outside. She would record herself, and she
Mm.
would she would speak into the camera. She would actually speak as if she were acting a drama. She would play several
Yeah.
characters,
Yeah.
soliloquizing exactly. And
Mm.
my own mom had decided to stop her from soliloquizing because
Mm.
the fact she was
Yeah.
communing with spirits. The point. But for me, I feel that's very healthy. She would make images. For example, today she was making images. She was catching stuff, and she was saying, "This is me. This is you. This is your fiancé. This is this and that and this and that." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "That's good." I mean, I had to encourage her. When mommy came around, mommy was like, are you wasting? You're wasting resources. You're wasting
Mhm.
your book. And I'm like, mommy, that's good. That's okay. I mean, it's wonderful what she's doing.
Yeah.
There was
Yeah.
when mommy came back, she had cut this paper into several pieces, and I'm like, mommy, don't worry. She's gonna pick it all up later. Let her have
Hmm.
a time right now. So
Hmm.
what our
Hmm.
parents do not understand is that they are killing that creativity, because you see, curiosity is the mother of creativity, and
Yeah.
creativity is the father of leadership.
True.
Curiosity
Profound.
is the mother of creativity, and creativity is the father of leadership. So, yeah, you're right. That's what you were doing. You are being creative, and that's what
Mm.
you're doing, what you're doing today.
I hope someone got that tweetable. I mean, is a tweetable nugget. I hope someone got that. I hope so. If you got that, please put that in the comment section. We would like to read it. I have a comment from someone. Let me see. Now, guys, if you have a question, wherever question for Coach David, please make sure you ask. Who's that said the energy you have, Mr. David? I can tell you're a public speaker. May God take you to higher levels. I am full. Wow, that's amazing. Tell us your name, please.
Oh my
We'd
God.
like to know your name.
Comments like that make my day. Thank you so much.
Of course, of course. Okay, so tell us your name now. If you have any question for Coach David before he leaves this platform, I'm going to be showing you a video. So while you're watching this video, if you have any question, please go ahead and ask your question. But watch this video first of all, okay?
Hello, friend. I am David Lawal, the Masterful Speakers Coach and Lead Trainer at the Masterful Speakers Network. Are you a speaker, writer, or leader who is seeking to lead strategically and speak with crystal clarity, unwavering confidence, expressive creativity, inspiring consistency, and compelling credibility? Would you like to be trained by an international squad of highly resourceful speakers, trainers, and coaches from the UK, USA, Canada, South Africa, Cameroon, Ghana, and Nigeria? I am excited to invite you to benefit from the Masterful Speakers Masterclass. This training is beautifully designed to help you speak beyond confidence, that you might rather begin speaking masterfully. During this training, we shall guide you step by step through all the processes you need to build an irresistible international speaker brand. At the end of the training, you would have been equipped with all that you need to master spoken English, to speak fluently and confidently, to get invited to and sustain speaking platforms, to prepare for your most memorable speaking engagement, and to host your own events, and lots more. You would have been transformed into a deeply thinking, frankly speaking, and yet audience-lifting masterful speaker who is both electrifying on stage and powerful before the camera. This is your chance, and at the Masterful Speakers Network, we'll be so glad to take this journey with you. Sign up for our next training right now before the door closes, and I assure you that all our already trained Masterful Speakers in the Masterful Speakers Network and our international trainers and coaches and I are really eager to welcome you. Thank you. And then I want to give a special offer to people who are watching, participants of this conference. The training for August starts on August 4th and registration is ongoing. But if you reach out today, I'm going to give you a massive 50% discount offer.
Oh,
and if you don't have the entirety of the money, you can actually pay in installments.
amazing.
So that'll be my offer.
Oh wow, thank you so much. So guys, you've heard it all. I think you still have one more video, right? Do we need to play that?
You can do that. This is from one of my masterful speakers who did this for us.
All right, awesome. So let's just take it.
Hello, Friendship Leadership Institute. You have reached the Masterful Speakers Network help desk. How can we help you today? Do you know that the International Masterful Speakers Masterclass for July is on? Why haven't you signed up? You've always wanted to be a seasoned speaker, and here is your chance. Sign up with just a token. We have trainers and coaches from all over the world. Lebo Poen, South Africa, Prince David, Nigeria, Miguel Libran, USA, Arnold Besday Sewo, Ghana, Londre Larouche, Canada, Dorcas T. Kayode, Nigeria, Sarah Ross, Cameroon, Adiola Precious, Nigeria, Pemi Oyelan, Nigeria, John Orga, Nigeria, Joshua A. Oluwachoba, Nigeria, Omaomi Fadairo, Nigeria, and David O. Lawal, the founder and lead trainer. Beautiful moment to really hone your skill and become the speaker you want. At just a token. To sign up today, reach out with a message in my DM. For any other inquiry, reach out with one. Have a nice day.
That's masterful speaker Olu Benson Joy, who is the director of Friendship Leadership Institute Championships. Exactly. So he's the director of FLI Championships, an amazing man in the Masterful Speakers Network.
Hope I'm not
Mr.
making anything. Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm back. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you
And
for
guys,
the
you had the discount is given to. Yeah, thank you. You all had the discount is given to every one of us here who's interested in being a part of that masterful program. What do you call it again? Masterful
Speakers
right?
Masterclass. International
Exactly.
Masterful Speakers Masterclass.
Indeed. I would have really loved to show you one of these international webinars, okay? But just for now, because of timing, we need to move into the next session right now. But I trust you all learned and all got a great value from today's session. Thank you so much once again, David. Oh, wow. The O looks like Obama, where you said it's
Thank you. Let me just say a final thing.
Yes.
I want to leave my contact because I love to make friends. Just in case you're not signed up for a masterclass, that doesn't mean we can connect. I'm going to be giving you a free gift today, something that is going to make you a powerful storyteller. So if you reach out to me on WhatsApp, very simple, just reach out to me on WhatsApp +23490 4668 Now let me take that very slowly. +23490 +23490, yeah, exactly, 4668 or you can just do bit.do/masterful speakers coach, bit.do/masterful speakers coach, and then I think you should be able to find me that way. or you can go to, thank you so much, or you can go to David Lawal, or search for Friendship Leadership Community and join our community. See the amazing work that our masterful speakers are doing, and it's lovely to be here. Thank you so much, Mr. Daniel.
Thank you. Thank you. One of these days I will speak like you, you know.
You're doing great yourself. You don't have to do it like me.
Thank you so much. All right. I trust everyone has learned a great deal. Right now, I'm going to let Coach David go. And in the next few minutes, we are going to be live again. I would have loved to continue this live session into my session, but no, I'm going to create another live broadcast so everyone can come on it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to ask your questions if you have any questions to ask. Coach David belongs to us. Yeah, he's still on this community and he will be
Sure.
answering all your questions. Just a few comments from the comment section. Let me quickly take a look at them. Oh, so I've missed. Who's that? What did you miss? You've not missed anything yet. You still have his contact. You can contact him, get to meet him, and get to know him, and attend his live class. I mean, his masterful webinar. You don't want to miss that one too. Okay. Thank you all. Do have a great day. God bless you, Coach David.
Thank you, everybody.